Colby Covington was live streaming when Kamaru Usman unexpectedly walked past him. According to Colby, Usman didn't say anything at the time, likely because he noticed the camera was rolling, but Colby claimed that once the stream was off, Usman wanted to talk, given their intense rivalry and history. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you never miss an update. Fans are left wondering, was it just a coincidence, or was there something more to it? Here's what Colby had to say.
What's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Good to see you. It's a live stream. It's a live stream. Yeah. How you doing? You good? Yeah. All right, for sure. Yes, that was Usman, guys. He just said, hey, man, we're going to talk in a little bit. I don't think he wanted to talk on the stream because he didn't want the chat to hear what he had to say. But, yeah, we'll definitely chop it up a little bit. Maybe we'll get a picture. Or maybe we'll just fight. You never know. When chaos is in the building, it's unpredictable.
Merab Dvalishvili has first-hand experience stepping into the cage with a Dagestani fighter, and while he respects their skills, he's not buying into the idea that they're unbeatable. Coming off a hard-fought decision win over Umar Nurmagomedov, a previously undefeated fighter from Dagestan, Merab silenced many doubters who thought he wouldn't get the job done. The fight was close, and some even questioned the decision, but one thing was clear: Dagestani fighters are not invincible. Recently, Merab was asked about facing fighters from this highly respected region, and he didn't hold back. In an interview with Europop, he admitted that Dagestanis are great fighters who have always excelled in martial arts, but made it clear that they aren't some unstoppable force. Heavenly forces do not help them, he said. They are ordinary athletes, and others can defeat them, as you saw in my case. A strong statement, especially considering how dominant Dagestani fighters have been in the UFC. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Merab went on to claim that Khabib Nurmagomedov remained undefeated simply because he never faced a worthy opponent. That's a bold take. Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, and Conor McGregor would likely have a lot to say about that. Each of them stepped into the cage with Khabib and walked away defeated, struggling against his relentless pressure and grappling. And Merab isn't the only one voicing this opinion. Ilia Topuria, the reigning featherweight champion, recently shared a similar perspective on the Full Send podcast. According to him, Dagestani fighters are dominant when things go their way, but when the fight takes a turn, they don't handle adversity well. So, is there truth to what Merab and Topuria are saying? Or is this just talk from fighters who believe they figured out the puzzle? One thing's for sure, this debate isn't going away anytime soon.
None of them have like a special cardio and special stamina, you know what I mean? If they feel in the first contact, in the first round, but that they can control you, that it's very competitive, their head goes down. Yeah.
So what, you think it's about beating them in the earlier rounds?
This is what they try to do, to beat you in the earlier rounds, to feel that they can dominate you, that they are stronger than you. This is what they try to do all the time. But when then they realize that it's not like that, most of the time they lose that kind of fights. All the competitive fights, they lose. All of them.
Of course, when we talk about fighters like Islam Makhachev or Khabib Nurmagomedov, no one is questioning their cardio, stamina, or ability to perform under pressure. These are fighters who have dominated some of the best in the world, proving time and time again that they can push the pace and break opponents. It's important to consider the full picture rather than just a handful of names at the top. With that in mind, do Merab and Ilia have a point, or are they underestimating what makes Dagestani fighters so dominant? Is there a real weakness in their style, or is this just confidence from fighters who believe they have what it takes to change the narrative? Let us know what you think. Alex Pereira shared a quick dap with Drake at his Sydney concert. Fans can't stop talking about it. Here's the clip.
Who is that? Oh, that shit buzzing. That's a shout out to your cousin.
Arman Tsarukyan chokes out Nina drama for his back injury at UFC Vegas. Arman joked with Nina about his back injury, saying that she caused it and then pretended to choke her out. Here's the clip.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
This is because of you. I hurt my back because of you. Not bad.
Tell him I didn't hurt your back.
No, you didn't hurt my back. It was my fault.
UFC lightweight Terrence McKinney has been making waves with his stunning performance against Damir Hadzovic, where he secured a quick finish in just over 2 minutes. That dominant victory has led McKinney to set his sights on one of the biggest names in the division, Michael Chandler. McKinney has expressed his excitement about the potential showdown, especially highlighting how explosive the first round would be. He believes that both of them are so intense and aggressive that the fight would be one of the craziest fans have ever seen on paper. However, despite McKinney's enthusiasm, there are a few challenges to consider. McKinney isn't currently ranked in the UFC's lightweight top 15, while Chandler sits at number 7. This means that for Chandler, facing McKinney might not be the most advantageous choice at the moment, as there's not much to gain from such a fight. Moreover, there's growing speculation that Chandler could be matched up with the rising star Paddy Pimblett. Both Chandler and Pimblett have shown interest in a potential fight, and with UFC 314 taking place in Miami, many fans believe Chandler will be part of that event, fueling even more excitement. So what do you think? Would you want to see Chandler take on McKinney? Is it too soon for McKinney to face someone like Chandler, or does he deserve a shot at proving himself against a top contender? Ilia Topuria has recently made some bold statements, accusing UFC lightweight champion Islam Makhachev of being scared to face him in the octagon. Makhachev, who has been dominant in the lightweight division, hasn't shown much interest in fighting Topuria. Instead, he's been talking about moving up in weight and challenging himself in a different division, even hinting at the possibility of competing at middleweight. Makhachev's teammate Bilal Muhammad holds the welterweight belt, and Makhachev has mentioned that moving up in weight could be an option for him. But when the topic of fighting Topuria comes up, Makhachev quickly dismisses it, stating that defeating the undefeated featherweight contender wouldn't add anything significant to his legacy. Makhachev's mindset seems to be focused on bigger challenges, especially after his 2 wins over former featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski. For him, moving up to another weight class and fighting for another title is more appealing than facing Topuria at this moment. However, Topuria is having none of it. The confident featherweight champion fired back in an interview, calling Makhachev afraid of him. He suggested that if it were truly as easy as Makhachev claims, the fight would already be scheduled and the two of them would have already shared the octagon. Topuria, who has been rapidly climbing the ranks in the UFC, believes Makhachev is trying to avoid a showdown with him because of the potential risk involved. Topuria believes that Makhachev sees the fight as dangerous, and it's not something he's willing to take on right now. Topuria's words raise the question, is Makhachev really avoiding him, or is he simply focused on bigger goals? Makhachev has long spoken about his ambition to challenge for titles in multiple divisions, and his pursuit of greatness beyond lightweight could be driving his decisions. Still, Topuria's claim that Makhachev is scared to face him adds fuel to the fire of this heated rivalry. There's no denying that Topuria is an incredibly dangerous fighter, and his rise in the featherweight division has been nothing short of impressive. His relentless style and finishing ability make him a formidable opponent for anyone, including Makhachev. So, is Makhachev ducking Topuria, or is he simply looking to challenge himself in other ways? While there's no clear answer, one thing is certain. If this fight were to happen, it would be a thrilling contest that would captivate the MMA world. Fans are already buzzing with anticipation, eager to see whether the two champions will eventually meet in the cage. But for now, the question remains, will Makhachev and Topuria ever cross paths in the octagon, or is this just another example of two elite fighters locked in a verbal sparring match with no real resolution in sight? Only time will tell.